In this quick skill video, we're going to be looking at wages, pay, salaries, and income. That'll kind of lead into gross income, and we can link that with overtime and permanent versus casual employees and permanent casual employees. So we'll start with a little bit of knowledge. We'll start with pay rate. Okay, so pay rate is simply the amount paid for a given period of time. So that could be that you get paid $15 per hour, or it could be that you get paid $250 per day, or if you're on a wage, it could be $700 per week or per fortnight, or it's pretty much an amount of money you get paid for a particular period of work. There are other types of pay. You can get paid per job, you can get paid commission on a sale, but we're not going to look into that right now. The next thing we'll look at is a wage. Now, a wage is generally an amount paid per week or fortnight. This is normally paid to full-time or part-time employees, and they get paid this wage every week, regardless of the hours that they work. A salary is the amount paid over the course of a year. That can generally be called per annum. And somebody on a salary, so say for example they get paid $50,000 per year, that can be split up to be paid weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. Now, something you would have heard a lot of is gross income. So gross income is the amount you get paid before tax and before any other deductions. Everybody working will pay income tax. So that's an automatic percentage that comes out of your pay based on how much you earn. After deductions and tax have been removed from your pay, it is called the net income. It's amount after tax and deductions. Now, there's slight differences between permanent and casual employees. Permanent employees will generally work somewhere around that 38 hours per week, maybe a little bit more or less, depending on the contract that they've signed. And that would be regarded as full-time. Part-time can also be permanent, and part-time generally work less than those 38 hours per week. Depending on the type of contract you have signed, you may be paid overtime. Now, overtime can exist when you work weekends or extra hours, and they can be paid in different loading amounts. So, for example, you'll always be paid higher rates for overtime. You can be getting paid time and a half, and time and a half will be 1.5 times that normal pay rate. You can get paid double time, so that's generally on public holidays, and that will be 2 times that pay rate. Time and a half is usually on a Sunday, depending on where you're working. Could be for extra hours as well if you work over those schedule hours at 38. If you're lucky enough to get rostered on Christmas Day, then you get triple time, and that will be 3 times your normal pay rate, which isn't a bad deal. If you're a casual worker, which many of you will be if you're working throughout school, there's something that is called leave loading. So casual workers won't get benefits like paid holidays and paid sick days. So on their normal working hours, they get paid a leave loading allowance. And that generally works out to be an extra 20%. Now, an extra 20%, of course, is 120% of what they would normally get paid, which means your pay rate multiplied by 1.2. Now, it's not always exactly that, but it's approximately. Now, the last thing we want to make sure that you're comfortable with is time conversions. So it should be noted, if you see annual, that means yearly. And hopefully you can recall that 1 year is 52 weeks, or 26 fortnights. 12 months or 365 days. And 1 week is 7 days. 1 fortnight is 14 days, so 2 weeks. And of course, there is 24 hours in 1 day. So these conversions should be enough to help you work out wages and salaries and convert back and forth. Okay, so in this example, worker is paid $545.30 per week, and we want to know what the annual income if they work every week in a year. So annual income means we're looking at salary. So the salary will just be that pay rate multiplied by 52 in this case, because there's 52 weeks in a year. So the salary will be 545.30 multiplied by 52, and we get 28,355.60. So that means over the course of the year, this person will be paid $28,355.60 annual income. Okay, so nice simple example there. Okay, so in this example, we've got a new graduate that starts on a salary of $42,500, and we want to know what their fortnightly pay is. Okay, so their pay will be that yearly amount divided by the number of fortnights in a year. So it will be 26 in this case. So we have 42,500 divided by 26. So it works out that each fortnight they paid 1634.62, or approximately $1634.60 per fortnight. Now, keep in mind that this is gross, this is before tax or any deductions. Okay, so in this last scenario, we're looking at a casual worker who earns $12.44 per hour, works 25 hours per week, and he has 3 weeks off a year. Now, the question's actually asking us, what is his gross annual income? So that means we want to know his yearly income before tax and deductions. So that's what we're going to put over here. So yearly income will be equal to, now we know he earns $12.44 per hour, works 25 hours per week. So each week will be 12.44 multiplied by 25. And over the course of a year, he works all but 3 weeks. So that means 52 take away 3 weeks per year. So we're looking at 12.44 times 25 multiplied by 49 weeks. So over the course of the year, he'll earn $15,239. So annual income is $15,239. Okay, so relatively simple. Each question will be a little bit different. You'll have to work your way through. What have you got? What are you trying to find? And you'll have to convert between what's given into what we're trying to calculate in the end. Right? So that covers wages, pay, salary, and income. We'll start looking at income tax and net pay over the next few lessons.